They call them lonely, those who walk alone, those without a circle of friends. But they misunderstand. They confuse solitude with sorrow. They confuse silence with emptiness. And they mistake calmness for weakness. But the reality runs deeper. The one who walks alone has witnessed the raw edges of this world and chose to keep moving. They've seen smiles hide knives, and words conceal lies. And in that clarity, they chose solitude over shallow noise. Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Why? Because real growth demands distance from the herd. It requires silence. It demands that you let go of the need to be seen, liked, or praised. In that space, something rare emerges, a clarity of vision. When you stop chasing noise, you begin to hear truth. When you abandon the crowd, you begin to find yourself. Those who live without a friend are not shattered. They are sculpting. In the quiet, they carve the self. They develop the hardest skill of all, how to sit with their thoughts without needing the world to rescue them. They aren't seeking distractions. They're mastering attention. Seneca said, "He who is afraid to be alone is afraid of himself." And the world senses this power, this independence, and it makes them uncomfortable. We who walk alone learn how to bear the weight of our own mind. We train ourselves to want less, to need less, to endure more. Without an audience, we struggle, we grow. Where others chase comfort, we endure discomfort in silence. In a world obsessed with constant chatter, we become lethal through calm. In a culture that clings to endless connections, we become free through detachment. True strength is quiet. It doesn't need to be loud, seen, or clapped for. It builds itself in silence, behind closed doors, with no witnesses. Those who understand this kind of strength are never truly alone again, because they walk with discipline. They walk with direction. They carry within them a compass that the world cannot touch. That compass is called fortitude. And the great irony? The one who lives without a friend is often the one most capable of being a true one. Because they have met themselves fully. They've faced their own shadows instead of hiding behind others. They've sharpened the mind, not the ego. They've developed the rare ability to listen, not just to others, but to their own soul. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." While the world clings desperately to company, the ones who walk alone retreat inward and cultivate peace. And from that peace, they give, not out of lack, but out of fullness. Not company born of fear, but presence born of depth. And understand this, walking alone is not always a curse. Sometimes it's chosen. Sometimes it's necessary. Sacred. Brutal. Transformative. Because when you are alone, the noise fades. The world's distractions lose their grip. And in that silence, something deeper speaks, your conscience. And it either haunts you or redeems you. Seneca warned, "Associate with those who may better you. If none can be found, solitude is best." And what a powerful truth that is. When the world cannot offer you what you seek, solitude becomes the most honest companion. It shows you that the absence of others is not the absence of growth. It is the beginning of clarity. From that clarity, something unshakable is formed. The power to stop chasing, to stop proving, to stop needing. In solitude, we learn that the one who truly knows himself does not fear the silence. He does not tremble at being alone. Because in that stillness, we meet our flaws head on. We face the lies we've told ourselves. And though painful, this process becomes the forge of real strength. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Solitude is that way. It strips us of excuses. In isolation, we face the truth of who we are, without filters, without masks. That confrontation? That's where wisdom is born. That's where real resilience takes root. And when we emerge, we are not broken. We are reborn. The world may call it loneliness. But those who've walked through it know its power. Seneca reminds us, "It is not the man who has too little, but the one who craves more that is poor." Those who live alone have learned to crave less and understand more. They don't depend on the crowd, they rely on clarity. What they carry is quiet, but it's strong. They possess a strength that no approval can offer and no rejection can take away. It is the strength of self-mastery, emotional independence, and inner peace. And that strength? It endures. Loud crowds may fade, but solitude builds something eternal.